Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today, if you've clicked on this video, it's because you feel like you're working a 5 to 9. You're probably working all the hours in the world, or you have done in the past, and you left the 9 to 5 at some point in your life to chase the dream of living that, business owner lifestyle, whether it was financial freedom, location freedom, whatever it is you were chasing, you left for that reason, and you're at a point now where it is getting on top of you. Maybe you've had a setback in terms of illness where you haven't been able to work, or you've had to go on holiday and the business has stopped, or new sales have stopped. Whatever it is, it's given you a bit of a wake-up call to make you think, am I really running a business here? Or is this just a very high paying job for me that if I stop, the whole thing stops? And that's a scary thought. And I've been through it. I understand it. And I'm going to hopefully show you how you can make steps forward towards breaking through that, to solve that, to actually own a real business that does operate without you. Okay. Now, first thing I want to clear up is you are probably very powerful. If you're the entrepreneur, you're the business owner inside whatever business you own, you're a very powerful asset. And I don't believe in removing yourself completely if you're trying to grow it. You should still be involved, and you probably still want to grow the business. So why would you remove yourself completely from every process? That doesn't make sense, right? So having key man risk in a business is absolutely fine unless you're looking to sell the company. That's something I learned. I went away to acquisition.com. I don't know if you follow Alex Hormozy, but I've learned a lot from following his content. I know some people have their opinions, but he's helped me a lot, and I learned that out there. We were valuing the company, and we realized that me being so heavily involved in key processes didn't make the company valuable at that point in time. So that's what I want to talk to you about now. I'm going to walk through it step by step, hopefully keep the video quite short, but you will learn at the end of this video exactly what you need to do next to hopefully reduce the risk of you being that key man in running the day-to-day of the business, so you can focus on the high value tasks and actually execute that properly without it starting to crumble from beneath you, to build a solid foundation. So let's dive into it, okay? And it is going to break down the differences between a self-employed business and an actual business owner. There is a big difference, okay? So the dream we all came for, my reason was very different, right? When I first started, it wasn't because I wanted to be this like successful entrepreneur or have that title or chase a lot of money, to be honest. The reason I left my job as an accountant was because I just couldn't stand working for someone else, and also learning very quickly how long it takes, like decades, to even make any sort of progression in that role to earn a little bit more money. So I realized straight away, I was like, I don't want to chase that lifestyle of slowly progressing over time and being told what to do and having to wear a suit and sit at a desk boiling hot all day, uncomfortable. That was not for me. So within a year and a half, I got out, and I just went all in on my fitness, my passion, basically. And that's why I left. So I had very different motivations. I wasn't chasing the money. I wasn't chasing even the freedom. I just wanted to have my own time under my own control, even if that meant earning next to nothing. Genuinely, I was happy at that point to do that and make that decision, which is probably stupid looking back, but that's my reason anyway. But other people get into it for different reasons, which is absolutely fine. Chasing a lot of money, chasing success, chasing a hell of a lot of money, maybe. Whatever it is for you, that's your motivation. But then when you've got into it, you've realized very quickly, right, if I actually want to make this work, you do need to put in all the hours. And I'm not saying you don't, but it shouldn't be like that forever. Like that shouldn't be glorified forever. Yes, you go through seasons when you're making big changes or big strides forward where you have to work all the hours in the world and sacrifice a lot of the other things. Yes, there's a lot of push and pull, and that's why I don't believe work life should be balanced during those seasons. It's all about having different seasons of your life where you prioritize different things. And then there's the stage you get to where maybe you're doing decently well in business, maybe you're earning a lot more money than you've ever earned in your life, or you've built a good business where the revenue is doing really good, but maybe you're not taking home as much as you want, but you're still having to work all these hours. Maybe you're in that difficult place where it's working, but you're stuck. Your physical time is stuck in the business, and what you've just created is golden handcuffs for yourself, because now you've lived the success of, like, I'm a successful business owner on paper, I'm making a lot of money, a lot of revenue, maybe not as much profit, or maybe you are making a lot of profit, but if it wouldn't be possible without your time. If you stopped, the whole thing would stop. So you've created this, like, luxury cage, this luxury prison for yourself, really, where you are a business owner technically, but be honest with yourself. Like, are you actually a business owner if it doesn't operate without you? To me, it's just a high paying job where, yes, you employ other people as well. Is it really a business? I don't know. Maybe you're going to turn off this video if you disagree with me, but I don't think it is. I've lived through that where we've had to change our model completely from what it was, because it wasn't a business. I was making a lot of money. We was paying a lot of people well. But if I stopped, the whole thing did crumble. So, yeah, it's just the harsh truth. I don't think it's a business. It's a high-paying job, and it's golden handcuffs for yourself. So you're stuck in this position probably because you're very good at what you do. So the same as I was in what I was doing, we were building up an online coaching brand to do with fitness, and I was the key man. I was bringing in all the marketing. I was doing all the sales myself, because with the margin of what we sell, and we couldn't actually employ a good closer to be able to handle all of those deals and still make decent profit at the end of it. So the margins just didn't make sense for the model we were operating with because of the volume we were doing in terms of how many clients we were handling. So that was just a problem there as well. There was also other problems in terms of how it was at scale, because we had a lot of coaches under our belt. But anyway, this is not about me. The point I'm making is, you're probably very good at certain aspects of the job, which is why you're really hesitant to kind of delegate. So the same with me with sales, it was a different issue because the margin wasn't there. I would have happily delegated that final part, but everything else was delegated. And when you think about the coaching as well, you know, I was very, very anal about how things should be done. I was teaching everyone. They were following all my principles. I taught them absolutely everything to take them from just being a qualified PT to a really good coach that could transform someone's complete life and physique and mindset and everything. It was very difficult at scale because of the quality control to make sure they were doing what I would do. So this just goes for like whatever you're doing right now, whatever your service is. If you're running an online service business as well, you might be incredibly good at what you do, and you might not have the margin to bring someone in to be better at certain parts of the job than you are. And that itself has a limit to it as well. So you basically either need to refine the model to make sure the margin is there to be able to bring people in to deliver what you do, or the harsh reality is it's going to be limited by you, because the model doesn't make sense to actually own someone of your expertise in that business. Let's give an analogy of a doctor, right? If a doctor outside of the usual system was operating and charging a fee for what they did for the surgeries or whatever, but if they had to hire that same doctor with their same skill set, they would be severely undervaluing, therefore they could not afford that doctor. So sometimes you could be doing well because what you're charging is actually not worth your true value if you had to buy someone else of your talents. So the model needs to be fixed if you want to scale beyond that point, to bring in everyone that you need to cover all the skill sets that you have for the business to actually run. So that's a hard thing to think about, and only you can realize for your business, like, what are all the tasks I do? What are the skills I have? If I had someone, or the amount of people paying me as a business, can I actually afford everyone to come in and actually operate with my skill set? If not, again, it's not going to work as a business. You don't have the margin to make it work. And you just need to refine the model, the pricing, everything of how you do it. And you can make it work. Of course you can. But maybe the way you're operating right now doesn't make sense for that to happen. So the one test I would say, and there's 3 different checkpoints for this test. Remove yourself, starting with 3 days. Take 3 days off. Do not answer your phone. And I know you're probably already sitting there thinking maybe that's never going to happen. Take 3 days off, not even looking at your phone. No contact, no emails, nothing. That's the first test. Can you do that? And does anything suffer? Does the business, there's 2 levels to this as well. Does the business still run? And does the business actually still grow? The growth part is key. Like, that's actually what makes a valuable company that can be sold. So yes, it may be able to still run, but does it still grow without you? Because eventually, my philosophy is, if it's not growing, it's slowly dying. So you need to make sure it also is in place to actually grow without you as well. So second step, 3 weeks. Can you take 3 weeks off? Can you go away on a safari or backpacking somewhere? No phone, no contact, nothing. And the business not only still run, but does it still grow? And then finally, the big one, 3 months. Because if you're going through a company sale, which may be well beyond even what you want to do, But if you are going through that point, you're going to need to make sure that it completely runs without you. There is zero key man risk there. Maybe you're there because you're still trying to push it forward now for key decisions, but you should probably still have a senior team that makes all those decisions and operates the business without you to still grow. Again, this is more high level. I've never sold a company before, but obviously for me, I'm just very interested in this stuff and seeing what other people have done as well, and people I know that have been through these things. That's what you need, basically. But I even for running a service business that you want to grow, the reason why it makes a company valuable is because it then allows you and your sole skill set to be key decisions, high level thinking, future growth. How do we fix all the key constraints of the business to just, basically catapult it forward? So even if you're not looking to sell, it's still how you should operate the business, and then you can just put the accelerator on any of the key tasks that you think is going to move that business forward. So your time is only going to be working on high value tasks that's going to move the business forward. If you've watched to this point now and you're thinking, right, okay, I kind of relate to all of this above, but what do I do then? How do I actually systemize things? Because maybe you're at an early stage right now. Maybe you're running a service business successfully. Maybe you're making a lot of money, but you are literally doing all the tasks. Maybe you have someone to help you with admin or just basic stuff like that. How do I actually delegate certain parts? So I always split it up into 3 parts. So I've got leads, so incoming leads, traffic, whatever it is, content creation, whichever way you get leads. Then you've got sales, and then you've got delivery, because that's how a service business works. To simplify it, you got leads, you got sales, you got delivery. So I would look at it from that perspective and just think, what is the most important thing I need to focus on right now? Where would my time be best spent based on my skill set as the business owner, right? And for me, believe it or not, I decided, I probably went about it the wrong way, right? But I decided to delegate delivery first, instead of actually delegating maybe the front end or sales or anything like that. But it was because of the way it worked. I just wanted to, we already had a lot of leads, so I wanted to just make sure I closed all those sales, and I made sure we had everyone to do the delivery, because I had more than I could possibly handle, To give you a bit of an insight, as an online fitness coach doing mid-ticket, I worked my way up just myself to over 120 clients myself, and I was working flat out just making sure the delivery was on point. So that was the first thing I needed to bring people in for, was to support on delivery before I could move on to then being able to sell more prospects for the leads that we already had. So that's what influenced my decision. I would do it differently now going backwards, but you need to look at your business and like, what is struggling the most? What is like lower down on my skill set that I can bring someone in that's maybe better than me at that thing, and then how do you actually go about doing that, right? So when a task comes up, whatever that task is, your first thought now should never be do it yourself, because that's the quickest and easiest thing to do in the short term, but it hurts you in the long term, right? And I've had this chat with my dad, who's a partner of me with the gym, a different business we've got, and this is something we clash heads about all the time, because I'm trying to think long term. Like we obviously want to systemize absolutely everything and learning what I've learned from the other business, but he's very much, he knows how quickly it is and easy it is to just do things himself, and he's just always been that guy that would rather get his hands dirty doing himself, and I respect that. It's what's got him to do very well in life. But at the same time, when you're trying to build a system for people to operate in and for it to be able to run without you, you need to document these processes. So that's the first thing, right? When a task comes up now, from this point on, never just do it yourself. Document the process, okay? Again, the other thing people jump to, especially if they've got good cash flow and got money, I'll just hire someone. I'll just delegate it. Don't think about it. You need to document the process first. So this is the right way to go about it in today's age, especially in 2026, right? There's a new step now that didn't used to be there before. So SOP, that's the first thing, standard operating practice or procedure. And we need to write down literally a step-by-step of how to do that thing. For example, the thing that happened over the gym the other day, fire alarm tripped for no reason, absolutely no reason, right? Happened at 9 p.m. on a Friday. So I had to go down there, and I was furious. The reason I was furious is not because I had to go down on the Friday night, is because the procedure hadn't been documented, and I knew it was like a 2-minute fix. So that's what frustrated me. So now, as soon as I went over there, documented the procedure, it's now there. So whenever whoever is on reception, whoever's there as staff, knows they can easily fix it. And funnily enough, the next morning it tripped again for whatever reason. I didn't even know about it. Didn't even get a text, didn't even get a phone call, because they knew what to do. So it's like little things like that that compound massively. And you can be the busy fool as a business owner if you want to, and you can just think, oh, I'm always busy running after everything because there's always something coming up and I never stop. And if that's part of your identity, fine. I don't want it to be part of mine, right? I don't want to live like that forever. So document it, make it a standard process, make the operating manual for whoever it is, whatever is part of your department, whatever staff member you're talking about. They should have that booklet on hand, or if online these days, just a sheet. We have a G sheet. Then it's about data. It's about tracking data. This is more so for, especially if you're getting bigger, and more people are making different decisions, just so you can track how well the processes are doing, comparing it to other maybe staff members doing the same thing. Like, this is very important in like a sales role, like a setter, a closer, whatever it is. You need to have the data then to be tracking what they're doing, to just see what's going on. Then the next step is, can AI do it for me? Is AI going to be able to help me do this? Is it worth me hiring someone, or is it just quicker now to run things through AI and get this done properly? So that's the difference now between just hiring and delegating, is you actually ask yourself now, can AI or a tool do this for me before I hire? And is it just a quick 5-minute task for me to do? That's going to be the question now. So a lot of people as service business founders or owners are going to be able to scale up much quicker these days without having to hire these much bigger teams than they used to before. So that's something to think about. Can AI do it? If not, that's when you truly delegate. But you don't just delegate straight away. Don't just hire straight away and delegate. You actually build the system first, then you track the data, then you hire the employee. That's the step it should go. So that means, in my opinion, everything you're doing right now, every single thing that comes up, how much easier is it going to be if you're just documenting every process? Yes, it's more work right now, a little bit more just to document everything. But as soon as it gets a little bit too much, you can hire immediately because everything's been documented. So that's one thing I've learned going forward now in future. Everything should be documented in what you're doing. Finally, I've already kind of touched on like our sales system, but just to give you a quick example of how this worked for us. When we were scaling up PB and we scaled to over 250 active clients, I was doing all the sales, and every month we were pretty much taking on 40 to 50 new clients every single month. So there was a lot of sales calls, a lot of sales during the week, a lot of setters to manage. We had about 2 setters at one point, which is not a huge team, but for a fitness coaching company, it was pretty good. And by doing that, the system I set up, right, was the welcome pack VSL. I'm not going to touch on it too much in this video, but it's a video that basically pre-sells the prospect for them. So the way you actually do this is by building in everything that they could possibly ask from all the sales calls that we've done. We knew what questions they asked, what they were concerned about. And sometimes we were speaking to cold leads, warm leads. And I don't know if you've felt like this before as well, but it's frustrating when sometimes they're just so hot, they want to buy from you straight away, they trust you. Why can't everyone just turn up like that? And this video actually helps move everyone that's kind of on the colder side to becoming really hot leads. You only speak to hot leads on the call. It saved us about 20 minutes each call. It reduced our call time and increased our close rate massively because they trusted us. They spent time with us on this video beforehand, and it's a very professional welcome pack procedure. So if you want to learn more about that, there's going to be a link below, and there's going to also be a link to our community where we've just given away all the systems we've built to build a service business online, because it's all the same. All the mechanics and the engine behind the scenes is exactly the same as any service business online. So if you want to learn more about that, it's free, it's invite only. So if you do join, I will have to accept it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So the final thing I want to leave you with is you need to value the task. So when you build out all these SOPs, value each task. Can this be done by a minimum wage person, basically? And anything above that, like what sort of person does it need to be? Does it need to be a marketing person, a salesperson? Once you know the value of every task, you should stop yourself doing the lowest value tasks, and you should find someone to replace you that costs that amount of money. It's going to save you so much time more than anything, because you can then focus your time on the higher value tasks, which is going to bring in more revenue for your business. So yeah, I want to leave you with that. If you like this video, make sure you like it and subscribe for more content just on growing a service business online. So yeah, thank you, and I'll see you soon.